angular simple harmonic motion and its differential equation. Last lessons we have seen about the linear simple harmonic motion. Now we see angular simple harmonic motion and its differential equation. In the previous lessons we have seen linear simple harmonic motion and its differential equation. I think you remember it. Definition of linear simple harmonic motion: a linear periodic oscillatory motion of a body in which force or linear acceleration is directly proportional to the linear displacement of the particle from the mean position and its direction is opposite to that of the displacement from the mean position. So this is the definition of linear simple harmonic motion. On the same line, we have to define angular simple harmonic motion. Then differential equation of linear simple harmonic motion. I think you remember it. M into d2x by dt square plus kx is equal to 0. This is the differential equation of linear simple harmonic motion. Now, before going to differential equation of angular simple harmonic motion, we will just compare the angular oscillatory motion and linear oscillatory motion. You know the oscillatory motion, if any body moves to and fro about a fixed path, then it is called as the oscillatory motion. If the path of oscillation is linear, that means a straight line, for example AB, that means if the particles performs the oscillatory motion along the path AB, that is A to B, B to A, again A to B and B to A. This is a straight line path, therefore it is called as the linear oscillatory motion. And if the path of oscillation is curved, then it is called as the angular oscillatory motion. For example, if the body oscillates between A, O and B, A and B are the extreme positions and O is the mean position. That means A to B, again B to A, again A to B and B to A. Then this path is curved and therefore this is called as the angular oscillatory motion. Now we have to define the angular simple harmonic motion. Before going to it, we have to see the angular simple harmonic motion. One more example, we have seen the linear simple harmonic motion, that is the motion of pendulum, and we have put one condition on that. If the amplitude of oscillation is very small, then bob of the simple pendulum performs linear simple harmonic motion. I think you remember it. This is the simple pendulum, and if the amplitude of oscillation is very small, then we assume that the path of oscillation is a straight line. Okay, but if the amplitude increases like this, then the path becomes the curve, and therefore we can say that it is not a linear simple harmonic motion, but it is a angular simple harmonic motion because the path becomes the curve. Now suppose we have a circular disc of metal here. It is metal circular disc and it is connected to a wire at the center, and the disc is in equilibrium position. If we rotate this disc and release, then this disc performs the rotational motion partly on right side, partly on left side, or we can say that partly clockwise and partly anti-clockwise. That means this disc oscillates. Okay, this motion of the disc is called as the oscillatory motion. What happens here when the disc rotates towards the left, or we can say that anti-clockwise direction, then this wire which is connected to disc gets twisted, and as the wire gets twisted, the internal restoring torque is created in the wire which tries to restore the disc to its equilibrium position. That means when the disc rotates anti-clockwise sense, then the restoring torque is created in clockwise sense. On the other hand, if the disc rotated in clockwise direction, then the restoring torque is created in the wire is in anti-clockwise direction. That means the motion of the disc, that is the oscillatory motion, angular oscillatory motion of the disc, is governed by the restoring torque which is created in the wire. Okay, now this restoring torque is directly proportional to the angular displacement. So restoring torque, say it is tau, is directly proportional to the angular displacement. Larger the angular displacement of the body, then the larger the restoring torque. Smaller the angular displacement of the body, then smaller the restoring torque. So as angular displacement of the disc increases, then the restoring torque also increases. You know the example, when the spring, if we take the spring in our hand and if we twist it, larger the twist, larger the restoring force. Smaller the twist, smaller the restoring force. Same thing happens here. If the angular displacement is larger, then the restoring torque is larger. So this restoring torque is directly proportional to angular displacement theta. Okay. Now what about the direction? As already told you, that means angular displacement, if the angular displacement is in anti-clockwise direction, then the restoring torque is clockwise direction, and vice versa about the direction of these two, that is angular displacement and the restoring torque. So we can say that the angular displacement and restoring torques are opposite in direction, and then we can write tau is directly proportional to minus theta. Here negative sign indicates that the restoring torque and angular displacements are opposite in direction. Now we have to replace this proportionality sign. We have to take the equality sign. So while taking the equality sign, we can write here as restoring torque tau is equal to, we have to take the proportionality constant, say it is C and it is theta with negative sign. So tau is equal to minus C theta, where C is called as the angular displacement. We can say that it is the torque per unit angular displacement. So C is the torque per unit angular displacement. It is a proportionality constant. Now there is a relation. Torque is equal to moment of inertia into angular acceleration. That is tau is equal to I into alpha. Moment of inertia is represented by letter capital I. Angular acceleration is alpha. So tau is equal to I alpha. This is the relation in rotational motion. You will see in this first chapter of the 12th standard, tau is equal to I plus alpha, and it is similar to F is equal to ma. Force is equal to mass into linear acceleration. Similarly, torque is equal to moment of inertia into angular acceleration. So there is a analogy between these two relations. Tau is equal to I alpha and F is equal to ma. So tau is equal to I alpha. So as tau is equal to I alpha, we can put this relation in this. So I alpha is equal to minus C theta. Okay. because torque 2 is equal to minus c theta. I alpha is equal to minus c theta, where I is the moment of inertia, alpha is the angular acceleration. So what is angular acceleration? You know the definition of angular acceleration. Angular acceleration alpha is equal to d omega by dt. What is d omega by dt? Omega is the angular velocity. D omega by dt is the rate of change of angular velocity with time. Angular acceleration is the rate of change of angular velocity with time. This is the definition of angular acceleration alpha, d omega by dt. And you know angular velocity omega is equal to d theta by dt. The rate of change of angular displacement with time is angular velocity. Okay, so omega is equal to d theta by dt. So we can write alpha is equal to d omega by dt, but omega is equal to d theta by dt, so it is d by dt of omega, but omega is d theta by dt, and therefore alpha is equal to, we can write d2 theta by dt square. So angular acceleration can be written as alpha is equal to d2 theta by dt square. Now, as alpha is equal to d2 theta by dt square, we can put this in the relation number 2, that is I alpha is equal to minus c theta, and therefore I into d2 theta by dt square is equal to minus c theta. If we take this c theta on this side, then we can write I into d2 theta by dt square. This becomes plus on this side, plus c theta is equal to 0. This is the differential equation of angular simple harmonic motion. So differential of the equation of angular simple harmonic motion is I is equal to d2 theta by dt square plus c theta is equal to 0. Now we have relation I alpha is equal to minus c theta. From this relation for alpha, so from 2, this relation to alpha is equal to minus c theta upon I. It is minus c theta upon I. We can write this as minus c upon I into theta. So we can write this relation number 3. Now c is the torque per unit angular displacement. It is a proportionality constant, and that depends upon the elastic property of that wire. So this is c, that is the torque per unit angular displacement is constant for a given wire. Also I, moment of inertia of this disc. So moment of inertia of this disc also constant. So c upon I is equal to constant. So as c upon I is equal to constant, we can say that alpha is directly proportional to theta. And negative sign indicates that alpha and theta are opposite in direction. Okay, so this satisfies the condition for angular simple harmonic motion, or from this relation we can define angular simple harmonic motion. So what is angular simple harmonic motion? How we can define the angular simple harmonic motion? Angular simple harmonic motion is nothing but it is a oscillatory motion. Angular oscillatory motion. It is not a linear oscillatory motion, but it is a angular oscillatory motion. It is a angular oscillatory motion of a body in which angular acceleration is directly proportional to angular displacement of the body, and the direction of angular acceleration is opposite to that of the angular displacement. Also, here also we have seen that tau is directly proportional to theta, torque is directly proportional to angular displacement, and negative sign indicates that torque and angular displacements are opposite in direction. So we also can say that angular simple harmonic motion is nothing but it is a angular oscillatory motion of a body in which torque is directly proportional to the angular displacement and the direction of torque is opposite to that of the angular displacement. So combining these two, we can define the angular simple harmonic motion of a body. So how you can define the angular simple harmonic motion of a body? Angular simple harmonic motion of a body can be defined as it is the angular oscillatory motion of a body in which torque or angular acceleration is directly proportional to the angular displacement and the direction of the torque or angular acceleration is opposite to that of the angular displacement. So this is the definition of angular simple harmonic motion of a body. Magnet vibrating in uniform magnetic field is an example of angular simple harmonic motion. We can show that a magnet vibrating in uniform magnetic field performs a angular simple harmonic motion, and also we can obtain an expression for its period of vibration. You know that if we take any bar magnet, you know about the bar magnet, concepts regarding about the bar magnet, you know the properties of bar magnet. One of the property of bar magnet is that it always remains in the direction of magnetic field. If we suspend a bar magnet in magnetic field, suppose this is a bar magnet and this is the north-south direction. On your side there is a north, say, on my side there is a south, and if this bar magnet is suspended, then this bar magnet remains in the north-south direction. This is its equilibrium position. If the bar magnet is either pivoted by means of spring or it is suspended by means of a thread, if we deflect from its equilibrium position and released, what happens? This bar magnet tries to remain in the direction of magnetic field. That means this bar magnet moves in the direction of magnetic field, but while coming towards the mean position, its angular velocity increases and it moves in forward direction like this. And that's why continuously this bar magnet oscillates or vibrates in magnetic field. We have to show that this motion of the bar magnet is angular simple harmonic motion, and we have to obtain an expression for its period. You know the idea regarding this bar magnet. The bar magnet has two poles. It is called a dipole. It has a north pole, it has a south pole. The distance between the north pole and the south pole is called the magnetic length. The distance, that is the straight line passing through the two poles, is called the axis of the magnet. Okay. Also distance between the center of the magnet to one of the pole is called the half the magnetic length. Half the magnetic length is denoted by letter L and magnetic length is denoted by letter 2L. Okay. So this is about the magnet. We have to show that this bar magnet performs a angular simple harmonic motion. Suppose here this is bar magnet which is suspended, a bar magnet. This is say N pole, this is S pole. This is the direction of magnetic field, external magnetic field, and this bar magnet is suspended in uniform magnetic field of induction B. Okay. This bar magnet remains parallel to the magnetic field or in the direction of magnetic field. Okay. If this magnet is deflected from its main position through angle say theta and released, then after releasing, this bar magnet oscillates about its main position. That means it performs the angular oscillatory motion. We have to show that this angular oscillatory motion is a angular simple harmonic motion. So suppose here B is magnetic field and suppose mu is magnetic dipole moment, and your magnetic dipole moment is the product of pole strength and magnetic length. So magnetic dipole moment mu is equal to pole strength. Here we have taken the bar magnet having pole strength Qm. Qm is the pole strength. For north pole it is positive, for south pole it is negative. So mu is equal to Qm into magnetic length 2L. This is magnetic length. So this is magnetic dipole moment. So magnetic dipole moment of the bar magnet mu is equal to Qm into 2L. Now in the deflector condition, the forces acting on the N pole as well as S pole, which tries to pull the magnet or restore the magnet to its equilibrium position. Okay, and these forces are Qm into B on the north pole and minus Qm into B on the south pole. These forces acts as the torque which tries to restore or which tries to rotate the bar magnet in the direction of applied magnetic field. Okay. Now the force acting on the magnetic or magnetic pole is Qm into B. Okay. Now what is the torque? Torque is nothing but, so torque acting on magnet tau is equal to, you have seen the definition of torque. Torque is nothing but it is a product of force and perpendicular distance between or torque or couple. What is couple? Couple is nothing but it is the product of magnitude of one force and the perpendicular distance between the two forces. Okay. Now the magnitude of force is Qm into B. This is the force acting on the bar, and the perpendicular distance between the two forces, this distance from this to this, as this angle is theta, this angle is also equal to theta, and this becomes the front side of this angle, and therefore the hypotenuse will be 2L. So the perpendicular distance will be 2L sin theta. Now look here, Qm into 2L is the magnetic dipole moment. Here is also Qm into 2L, that is magnetic dipole moment. So this is Qm and this is 2L. Instead of Qm into 2L we can write mu. So torque acting on the bar magnet tau is equal to mu into B into sin theta. So this is the torque acting on the bar magnet. If the angular displacement is small, if the angular displacement will be small, theta will be small, and if theta is small, then we can write, if theta is small, then we can write sin theta is nearly equal to theta. So we can write torque tau is equal to mu b theta. Okay, and we know that this torque increases opposite to angular displacement. If the angular displacement is on clockwise side, then torque will be on the left hand side, that is anti-clockwise side, and therefore these are opposite in direction, that is angular displacement and torque are opposite in direction, and therefore we can write tau is equal to minus mu into b into theta. So we get the relation for torque, tau is equal to minus mu d theta. Now tau, that is the torque, also we have seen the relation torque tau is equal to I alpha, moment of inertia into angular acceleration. I is the moment of inertia of the bar magnet. So as tau is equal to I alpha, we can write I alpha is equal to minus mu into b into theta. Okay, as I alpha is equal to minus mu b into theta, we can write alpha is equal to, we have to take this moment of inertia on these sides, so we can write minus mu b upon I into theta. Okay, so let relation number 3. As mu b upon I is equal to constant. Why it is constant? Mu, magnetic dipole moment, it is constant for a given bar magnet. B is the uniform magnetic field, external magnetic field, it is also constant. And I, moment of inertia of the bar magnet, it is also constant. So as mu b and I constant, mu b upon I is equal to constant. So as mu b upon I is equal to constant, you can see that alpha, this alpha is directly proportional to, say here, theta with negative sign. What it indicates? That means angular acceleration is directly proportional to angular displacement, and negative sign indicates that angular acceleration and angular displacements are opposite in direction, which satisfies the condition for angular simple harmonic motion. So as angular acceleration of a bar magnet vibrating in uniform magnetic field is directly proportional to the angular displacement, and angular acceleration and angular displacements are opposite in direction, so we can say that a bar magnet vibrating in uniform magnetic field performs a angular simple harmonic motion. So this is the answer for the question. Show that a bar magnet vibrating in uniform magnetic field performs the angular simple harmonic motion. Now the next part, we have to obtain an expression for the period of a vibrating bar magnet in magnetic field. Now know the relation for period. Relation for period. Also we have seen the formula for period. The same formula we have to use here. Period T is equal to 2 pi divided by square root of angular displacement angular acceleration per unit angular displacement. So formula for period, T is equal to 2 pi divided by square root of angular acceleration per unit angular displacement. We have the formula for angular acceleration, alpha is equal to minus mu b upon I into theta. If we take theta on left hand side, then this relation will become alpha divided by theta is equal to mu b upon I in magnitude. You say in magnitude. This negative sign we can neglect it. So alpha by theta. What is alpha? Alpha is the angular acceleration. What is theta? It is a angular displacement. So it is angular acceleration per unit angular displacement, and angular acceleration per unit angular displacement is mu b divided by r. So we can use in this relation. So t is equal to 2 pi divided by square root of angular acceleration per unit angular displacement, that is mu b divided by r. Or we can write this as t is equal to 2 pi into square root of. We can take this on upward direction, so it becomes I upon mu b. So this is the formula for period of a magnet vibrating in uniform magnetic field, that is T is equal to 2 pi square root of I upon mu b, where I is moment of inertia of the bar magnet, mu is the magnetic dipole moment, and b is the strength of magnetic field. Okay, on what factors the period of magnet depends? It depends upon moment of inertia of the magnet, it depends upon the magnetic dipole moment, also it depends upon the strength of magnetic field. Okay, so this is about the period of magnet vibrating in uniform magnetic field. So we have seen here how the magnet vibrating in uniform magnetic field performs the angular simple harmonic motion and the formula for its period.